His name is Pepsi. He is 34 years old and comes from Cottbus. He loves cycling and enjoys spending his free time visiting public parks. Bottle deposits are very important to him, essential for his survival. With his sharp blue eyes, he spots every empty bottle and can. His greasy, gray hair glistens in the sunlight. With his finely shaped nose, he takes in the sense of nature all around him. The corners of his mouth and his nose both droop slightly. He has been out of work for a long time, ever since his job as a salesman was taken over by AI. He now lives alone in a small one-room flat in Sachsendorf, for which he pays 500 euros a month. In his spare time, he follows football. Energie Cottbus has been back in the first division for 5 years now, and he goes to the stadium with his mates every week. Thanks to his 2 biomechanical implants, he can now surf the internet without a mobile phone. Unfortunately, pop-ups still find their way to him. He takes the train to go to the lake or do some shopping, since the city is now car-free. Every now and then, he makes a TikTok with the youngsters to keep his public image fresh. They then all play a cool game together and relax in the sun. In the evening, they head to the multi-generational house and cook for the neighborhood. Once their hunger is satisfied, they all go to the club together, where of course they get in for free. They head home early because it's Sunday and Pepsi has to work at the daycare center the next morning. He has been looking for a job for years. Finding something suitable is difficult. Social advancements are a long way off. The basic income support is barely enough to cover a healthy diet. At the supermarket, he can only afford ready-made capsules, which provide him with all the nutrients he needs. He doesn't need to attend any appointments in person. Everything is handled digitally and automatically through codes. On Sundays, he enjoys shopping at the vegan Späti and then gazing out over the city from the container he has converted into his flat. On weekends, his good friend Nikolaus Sommerkreuz also likes to come by his converted container, and they spend time together. He often buys his essentials at the Späti, but just as often he has his groceries delivered, which are then brought to his container by floating delivery devices. He frequently hosts his friends in his container, and he now lives with his girlfriend. The container is cozy, furnished in a classic style, and decorated with lots of plants, making it feel much like a tiny house. The flat is small and expensive, crammed with all of Pepsi's belongings. Memories of better times hang on the walls. He now lives at a subsistence level, with hardly anything left over at the end of the month. As loneliness is such a widespread issue, there are now social centers where people can meet and even stay for several days if they wish. There are free public fountains providing fresh drinking water. These new water stations are also available at Deutsche Bahn train stations, and with the railway network greatly expanded, trains have become one of the top modes of transport. As a young man, he also benefits from the new global political system. The feminist social One World Party won the last election and now leads the global government. As a result, his partner enjoys exactly the same rights and conditions that he does, which makes their everyday life together much easier. His children are raised as non-binary, and each carries a small identification chip so their whereabouts can be monitored. In his free time, he often takes the E-bus to Neuschnelle, where he meets others and they celebrate together. They avoid Sachsendorf. Most of his contact with other people is digital. They meet online more often than in person. He has no contact with the socially well-off and generally stays in Sachsendorf, keeping away from the city center. He has contact only with his football mates. Most of the time he sits in his flat watching TV. After capitalism brought so much suffering and war, the DHP rose to power in Cottbus in 2040, and the city became a pioneer in communism. Public squares belong to the citizens, who collectively manage and maintain them.